Okay, so hello guys. My name is Karan and I am the host today and I am also an interviewer after a so long time. It is a long break, I think. And these guys are interviewed today. So meet 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏, then Mahin, then Supriya and Vishal bhai. These are all amazing guys we have. And today's we have topic of advanced JS, like not advanced JS, it is basically JS. So the topic is function, scoping, and a little bit of CSS and HTML also. So these are the topics, and let us start with our questions directly. So first, I want to ask question from Vishal bhai. Okay. So Vishal bhai, your question is, what is function in JS?
Yeah, basically functions is a small piece of code that we write once and we can use multiple times in our code. Whenever we want to use that function, we can just call it that function or we can use it. But there is something trick in this. We have functions like function scope functions or uh, uh, function scope is we can use inside the function, and another is we can use whenever in entire our code wherever we want to use that we can call it and we can use it. So this is what about the function is.
Okay. So let me rephrase your answer. So that in JavaScript, function is a block of reusable code designed to perform a particular task. Okay, so that is basically function. And inside function, there are parameters, inputs, and we can provide different, like we can return anything, and we can manipulate it. Okay, so these are basically functions. Now, the second question is from Mahin. Mahin, your question is, what is the difference between function declaration and function expression?
Okay, so basically difference between function express. Can you repeat this? Explanation.
Function
Okay.
declaration and
And
function
explanation.
expressions.
Okay. So function expression. Let me tell you whatever I know.
Function declaration.
Declaration.
Start.
Okay. Function declaration.
Declaration and expression.
Yes. So sorry for my network is something down. So your voice is cutting. Okay.
No issue.
Okay, so my answer, let me give my answer. What I know, so function expression is the like a where we store our function inside the any variable. So it's like a function expression, and the function declaration it means where we like use the normal function like a function keyword and followed by the function name after parentheses and curly braces. It means the basic difference is where we use where we create a function by using the function keyword itself. It's like a declaration part of the function, and the expression means when we store the our function inside the any variable. So it means that we are expressing our function.
Okay. So your explanation is correct. I do not think there is need of more explanation. So now next question is from Supriya. Supriya, question is, what are callback functions? How are they used?
So callback functions are the type of functions in which the functions are declared, but they are not called then and there. They can be called in any other context of your whole code. This is simply means callback. It means that function you have written and you are just calling it back. I mean, you are calling it later on. So yeah, this is callback function. Yeah.
Okay, so let me rephrase it. So function callback function are basically functions which are which are declared in the arguments of different functions. So that is basically callback functions. Okay, now the next question is from 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗃. Your question is, what is the argument objects in JavaScript? How it is used within functions?
Okay. So generally we will use the parameters in the function to use the values over there. So those while calling while invoking that function, we will use the parameters as an argument over there. In case of we have whatever values we are putting as an argument, that will be reflect for the consideration of a function. So that will be our output. In this case, we will use as a parameter. Example, in a parameter, I'm mentioning some element like E or A something, and that element, if I'm mentioning as a while invoking the function as a some number like a 5 or 10, anything means that will be reflect over there in the output. That is a usage of a parameter in function.
Okay, so that is a good explanation. This is the final question of round one. Now move on to round two. And the first question is from same Vishal Bhai. Vishal Bhai, your question is, what are the different ways to declare a function in JavaScript?
Yeah, we have several ways to declare a function in JavaScript. Like we can declare a function, arrow function. So arrow function basically a function which we declare in a only it will only take one line to declare a function. We can say it's a short method of declaring a function. And also we have another method of general method of declaring a function in which we just give the parameter of the function. The syntax of the declaring function is like first we write function and then the write function name, and then we pass parameter of the function, and inside that parameter we write our code, whatever the code we want to execute. That code we can execute whenever we want to use in our entire code. Yeah, so just directly invoking the function, we can use that function whenever we want to use. So that's it.
Sorry.
Karan, you are in mute.
So I think your explanation is good, but there are more ways that we can use to declare a function. So I will rephrase it. So function can be declared by using functional declaration, function expression, arrow functions, and also generator functions. So these are the ways how we can define any function inside JavaScript. Now the next question is from Mahi. Mahi, your question is, what are higher order functions?
Okay, so what is higher order function? So higher function is a basically type of function, but it's a little bit like a special function in the JavaScript. Like what is a higher order function? It means that it's a higher quality. It's a first citizen like a function. Okay, so let me tell you what is that. So higher order function means it's a take one function as an argument and return one function return as a return function. So it means that it's a higher function. And for example, there's a lot of example. We are using map function. Map higher function. Map is a part of higher function. Map, reduce, filter, and there's a lot of things. So basically, higher function is a taken parameter means argument as a function, and also it's a return the function also. So this is what the basic concept of the higher function. You are mute.
Okay, so one follow-up question from you. The question is, can you explain me dot filter method?
Yeah, sure. The dot filter is one more harder function which we are using for the filter the anything. Like I have an array of the numbers and I want to filter that array according to only even numbers. So here in this case I'm going to use the only filter method, because by using filter method specially created for the filter any array or anything any only arrays, because all the hard functions are the method for the array itself. So for if the my variable is the array, so I can use the filter method on that. So just simply I have a like a array for the numbers 1 to 10, and I want to just filter out the all the even numbers. So I simply use the like a let result equal to whatever I have array dot filter inside the parentheses. I am going to use the one callback function like a function like a arrow function, and inside it I'm going to do process whatever I want. And one more thing, the filter method return the result, but it don't manipulate with the real array one. So it will return the for array. So we want to store that array in some another variable. So this is what for filter.
Okay. Nice explanation. It can be little bit short also, but it was nice. Now the next question is from Supriya. Supriya question is, what are arrow functions?
Okay. So arrow functions are just the another method of writing down the function. It is just the concise way of writing down the function where you don't have to write the whole keyword as a function, but instead you can use the arrow that is equals to and that arrow, and inside that curly braces you can write down your whole function. It was introduced in ES6 with ES6 components only. So yeah, it is just a concise way of writing your function, but yes, it has some drawbacks that it cannot be used in inbuilt functions. It just does not support that. Yeah.
Okay. There is also one more difference from basic function in between basic functions and arrow function. What is that? Like there is one keyword that we can't use. inside arrow functions?
Inside arrow function.
Yeah, there's one keyword that we can't use. You know about that?
Yeah. We can't use this keyword when
Yeah,
we are
like
using arrow function.
Yeah. Okay, I am satisfied. Now, okay, so you explained nicely, Supriya. Now the next question is from Kritika Di. Kritika Di, your question is, what is the difference between global scope and local scope in JavaScript?
Mainly the global scope means in case if I use any variable outside the function means also it can be used that variable whatever the values over there we can use inside the function also. That is the global scope. But local scope is also called as it's like a blocked scope. It can be used whatever variable we declare, it can inside a function, it can be used only inside a function, not it cannot be used in any other functions or outside the scope. This is a major difference between the local scope and global scope.
Okay, good explanation, Kritika Di. Now the next question is from Vishal Bhai. This is a third round. So the next question is from Vishal Bhai. Vishal Bhai, your question is what is an immediately invoke function expression?
What is immediately invoke function?
Expression.
Sorry, I don't know about the immediately exposed function, whatever you said.
Okay. So let me explain it. So immediately invoke function expression are basically the way how we can we can call any function after just writing it. The way is simple. Whenever we close the function, we can use parenthesis after that only, so that it become a immediately invoke function. So there is no need to call it again. Okay. So that is immediately invoke function. Now the next question is from Mahin. Mahin, explain me the concept of heuristic.
Yeah, sure. Today I'm prepared, very prepared for that. Okay, so
You should
hosting
be.
is a basically mechanism in our JavaScript. It's the mechanism that we need to declare or expression give a first before the where we are using it. It means when we like a console.log any of the our variables like a console.log my name, so I need to declare it first. So this is what the concept is hosting we are using in the normal in JavaScript. This is what.
Okay. So explanation was nice. Let me rephrase it. So basically, hosting is nothing. Like there are two scopes. So there are three variables. Like there are three keywords which we can use. There's let, where, and const. So where does whenever we call whenever we write where, so it takes that variable to the global scope. But whenever we use let and const, it will take it to a zone which is known as temporal dead zone in which so whenever we want to call that or we want that variable, so it will take the value from that temporal zone. So only where can be hoisted. So this is hoisting simply as Mahin. This is some additional things that I want to mention. Okay. Now the next question is from Supriya. Supriya, your question is what explain the difference between where, let, and const in terms of scoping and variable mutation.
So where, let, and const. So basically, where was the very previous way of storing the variables in it, but let and const were introduced after the ES6. These are also the way of declaring a particular variable or anything. So there are different things. Firstly, I will talk about const variable. Const variable simply means a constant value in it, which cannot be changed throughout the document. It remains constant. It cannot be redeclared or it cannot be reassigned. It's just not possible. Const is just a constant value. Yeah. And yes, there is one more thing, that const variable is a global scope variable. Like it can be whenever you are writing a const, you can just, I mean, that value will remain constant. It will not change even if you are redirecting or something. Please pause the recording. Okay. So const is a variable which cannot be changed throughout the document. It remains constant, and it can be used even after the function where it is declared. Yeah, so this is the const. And let is something which allows you to reassign the value, but yes, it can also be not be redeclared. you cannot redeclare the value of let. And let and where simply works like you can even redeclare it, the values of where. Yeah, so these are let, where, and const.
Okay, okay. So there is one mistake. Const is not a global scope. Okay, you should. It is like it is not a global scope variable. So otherwise, your explanation is good, but it can be more in depth so that it will be more representative. Other things are good. Now the next question is from Kritika Di. Kritika Di, your question is, what is this keyword in JavaScript? How does its value get determined?
Okay. So initially, if we want to declare any function or declaring any variable over that, then when I want to use it again, in case of object, if I want to use it again, there I will use this as a keyword. So this dot notation I will use, and with the keyword if I use, instead of mentioning that name directly, if I use the keyword, it will automatically denoting that variable. So this is the major use of this over here in this function.
Okay,
Yes.
so one follow-up question from you. If we just simply console log this, what will be the output?
It will give the whatever the variable considers.
No. If we just
Oh.
simply we made one JavaScript file. Inside the JavaScript file, we just write console log in parentheses. We will write this. What will be the output?
I'm not sure, but I think this will not give nothing, because without the dot notation, I think it will not give anything.
Okay. So this, whenever we just simply console log this, it will refer to the window object of JavaScript, on which the JavaScript is built. So it will give the window object. Inside that, there are different objects which is pre-built in JavaScript, because JavaScript is the language which is made up on object or wrap up in an object, we can say. So it will just give us long list
Window
of that
object.
window object. Yeah.
Oh.
So there are two CSS questions also. If you guys want to answer anyone, you can raise your hand and give the answer. Okay. The first question is, this is our final round of theory. Then we will move to our guess the output round. So these are the two simple questions. First question is, explain what is Flexbox and how it is differ from the traditional CSS layout. Okay, so Supriya raised her hand first. So Supriya, you got a chance. Make a good use of it.
Okay. So Flexbox is simply a way of designing your components of your document. So previously, when Flex was not introduced, people used to use a center tag, which was already there in the existence of HTML. But because it was very hectic to use again and again center tag, so after the introduction of Flexbox, it was very easy to assign the properties. Like whenever you use a display property like Flex, then definitely it will assemble your all the elements in just one row. And also it is not limited to one row assembling only. It is also limited to vast things, like you can write like Flexbox start. You can just rearrange your whole components from which element you want your document to get started. And also you can it is very easy to apply the media query on Flexbox. Like you just have to write the justify, align, and terms and all that properties of Flexbox, then definitely it will become very easier. You're mute. Every time I need to
Okay.
remind you.
I'm the host, so I can do this, but you have to remember. Okay. Now, the next question is, like, last question of the theory part is, how can you create a sticky header or footer in CSS using positioning? Okay. Mahin, you got a chance. You can.
Okay, the question is that how to make numbers and footer sticky. This is the
What?
question. Sticky, how to use stickiness of the CSS.
Sticky header and footer. Like, how can you create a sticky header and footer in CSS by using
Yes.
positioning?
Okay. So by using first I need to select that particular div, like I want to navbar, so just select it in cases. And after that I need to give like a position sticky, and after that like a from top 0 I want to like navbar is for the top for the front at the top, so I'll just give a top 0. So how I can do it like a top, so it will stay there, and after I just scroll it, so it will not gone, it will stay here. And after that if I want to give a stickiness to the footer, I'm just using like first select the footer, and after it specified just like position sticky, and after and a footer for a bottom. So I use like a bottom 0. So this is how I can use the stickiness for the number and footer, and also we can use for other elements.
I think there is no keyword like sticky, position sticky. It is position fixed,
Yeah,
I
there
think.
is.
Position
No,
fixed
there is
is
also there is a
sticky.
difference between fixed and
Okay.
sticky. There is a
Okay, so
very
I don't
one.
know about that. Right. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you for teaching me new thing. So now this is last round of guess the output. So I have some interesting questions for you guys. Pause the recording for a second. I will show up. Okay, so Vishal bhai, your question is this. You have to guess the output of this code. Let me uncomment this. Guess. Start the
Start
recording.
the record. Yeah, so yeah, when we console.logx, so it will give us yeah. First, we invoking our for function that we made, so it will give us 2 as
It will
an
give us
answer.
2. Okay, let's run it and then see. So the answer will be undefined 2 and 1. So why it is like that? First of all, we are making one variable with x is equals to 1. So it is 1. Then we are creating any function. Inside that we are console logging x. Okay, we are console logging x. Remember that. Then we are also declaring one more where we are just declaring it another time, which is x is equals to 2. Then we are console logging it console log x. Okay, then we are calling it. So first of all, we are calling it foo. Okay, so it will give us the value of 2. Then we are console logging this x. So this will give us 1. But the console log that we made inside that, it will not give us any value. It will give us undefined because of hosting. Simple. So that is the output for that. Now the next question, Amit is not there. Sorry, Amit, you have this question. You can see it. Now the next question is for Mahi. Mahi.
Okay, so my question is where a equal to 1 function outer and inside the console.log a inner. Okay, so console.log. Okay, so my answer is like console.log a. So for 72 lines, so it will print as a undefined because in the because of hosting itself, it print as a undefined, and after where a equal to 2, so we are declaring it after in inner function. So we are just calling the inner function inside the outer function, and this is the one. And after that, that inner function, it will console.log. So it will print as a two because this is the like a function scope. So that's why it print as a 2. So first it print as a undefined, and after it print as a 2 because of hosting and something the features what where have. So this is what my guess.
Okay, let's check it. Undefined 2, your answer is correct. You are good to go.
Okay, sir.
Now
Thank
the
you.
next question is from Supriya. Supriya, your question is this. You have to guess the output of this. Recording is going on right now, or it is stopped.
Yes, going.
Okay. You can have 1 minute for this answer. Just stop the recording. So what is your answer, Supriya?
Okay. So here there is a function of a multiply where we are writing a function a into b, and after it we are setting a time out like 1 second for 1 second. So definitely the answer will be 2 into 3 as in the line number 117 we are doing that, and then output, and after just the 1 second the above function will get executed as a result.
Okay, so first of all, there is in console log there will be output, then result. You are saying that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see it. Yeah, you are correct. First of all, there is output, then there is result because it just go to the call API, then web API, sorry. Then it will take that time, then it will go to call stack. So the basic concept of what we can say. Basic concept of JavaScript.
Multiplication.
Asynchronous function.
Asynchronous.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So that is the output. You are correct. Now the next question is for who is left? Kirtika ji. So the question is simple. Your question is this, Kritika. You can answer it. Okay. Pause the recording for a second, Mahi. Yes. Okay. So what is your answer, Kritika?
Yeah, initially we are declared a value x is 10. So in first console.log x, it will give a undefined because it's outside the scope. So I think it will give a undefined first. Then I'm giving a outer function. I'm declaring over there. So it will give again a undefined only. So I think I will get a two undefined function. Undefined.
Okay. Let's see.
Nothing. 10.
10. Why 10? Because there's simple thing. It is a global scope and we are returning it with console log x. Okay. Console log x. Then what is happening? We are storing it inside this variable in a function. That's why it will reassigned value. Then we are simply calling it again. So then it will give us 10.
Okay.
I hope you understand.
Yeah, I got.
Okay. So stop the recording for a second. So guys, that's all from today's meet. We have completed our one more topic in JS, really important topic, from which you can have many interview questions. I make the questions about intermediate level and basic level, so that the guys who are preparing for the interviews, they can get the questions, and my questions can help them. So we will provide you all the questions with the PDF. There is also one link inside the description through which you can just join us as a guest. We are allowing guests from tomorrow, I think, tomorrow's meet for our meet, so that you can experience what we experienced and you can meet us in person and you can know us. So that's all from today. I think after so long, you enjoyed my hosting and my hosting skills. So for more hosting like that, please comment good things about me in comments and follow us, follow the channel, and stay happy, stay healthy, love your parents, and bye bye. Good night.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.